You're nothing compared to Michael. He knows how to make a woman feel special.
My wife spat those words at me after 16 years of marriage, not knowing I'd already discovered her 2-year affair with her boss. So I served her divorce papers in a hotel lobby, while she stood there in nothing but a bathrobe. And that was just the beginning. But let me back up. Because if you've ever been lied to, really lied to, you know that the discovery isn't the worst part. It's realizing how long you've been the fool. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, leave a comment below and subscribe to this channel for more infidelity stories and cheating wife stories on YouTube. My name is David. Picture this. I'm sitting across from you right now, 45 years old, in my home office in Parker, Colorado. That coffee you're drinking? I probably made it exactly how you like it. Because that's what I do. I pay attention. I care about details. Funny how that attention to detail is what finally opened my eyes. Sarah and I had built what I thought was solid. 2 kids, good careers, the house with the 2-car garage. Our daughter Emma, 14, had my analytical mind. Our son Jake, 9, still believed his dad could fix anything. I should have noticed how that made Sarah roll her eyes. 2 years ago, Sarah got promoted at Morrison & Associates, big Denver ad agency. I threw her a surprise party, invited everyone, made a toast about my amazing wife. That's when Michael Richardson walked in. Her new boss, silver-haired, fake tan, handshake like he was auditioning for Alpha Male of the Year.
"Lucky man,"
he said, his eyes staying on Sarah a beat too long. I thought I was lucky. Turns out I was just the last to know. The changes started small. So small, I actually wrote them off as work stress.
Michael took his wife to Aspen last weekend.
She'd mention over dinner.
The saint, Regis. When was the last time you planned something romantic?
When I'd remind her about our Disney trip with the kids, 3 months of savings, she'd sigh.
That's for them, David. What about me?
Then came the comparison game. Michael's Tesla, Michael's Rolex, Michael's gym routine, Michael's perfect hair that probably cost more than my car payment. Hell, if Michael had sneezed in public, Sarah would have told me to take notes on his technique. The man became this golden standard floating above our dinner table like a chandelier I couldn't reach. Here's the sick part. We were friends with Michael and his wife, Lisa. Barbecues, Rockies games, weekend cabins in Breckenridge. Our kids were inseparable, the perfect suburban quartet. During those gatherings, when Sarah would snap at me over nothing, Michael would pull me aside with this concerned face.
"Women need to feel desired, buddy. Happy wife, happy life, right?"
He'd give me tips, restaurants to try, jewelry to buy, all while he was with my wife. The audacity still takes my breath away. March 16th, Thursday night. Remember that date. It matters. Sarah's in bed beside me, giggling at her phone like a teenager. First time I'd seen her genuinely happy in months. When I lean over to share the joke, she practically shoves me off the bed.
It's none of your business, David.
She storms to the bathroom. I hear the messages sending. 20 minutes later, she's back, turned away from me, fake sleeping. If you've ever had that gut feeling, that sick, certain knowing, you understand what happened in that moment. Next morning, I confront her. First mistake. She explodes with Oscar-worthy indignation.
How dare you accuse me of that, after everything I've done for this family?
When I ask to see her phone that evening, it's spotless. Every message deleted. Cleaner than a hospital.
Satisfied?
She smirks.
Or do you want to check my underwear drawer too?
But here's where arrogance meets stupidity. 2 weeks later, doing laundry, I find it. A second phone, hidden in workout clothes she never used. My hands shake as I power it on. No password. 2 years. 2 years of messages that made me physically ill. Photos in our bed. Our bed. Where our kids climbed in during thunderstorms. Videos I couldn't watch. Hotel receipts, Ritz-Carlton, Brown Palace, Four Seasons, all billed as client entertainment. The worst part? A folder labeled Our Future. California real estate listings. My friend Tom worked in data recovery. When I showed up at his garage at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday, holding that phone like a grenade, he didn't ask questions.
Jesus, David.
He said after scanning everything.
This is extensive.
I sobbed in that garage. 16 years reduced to a cheap office affair. But that wasn't even the worst part. The real blow came when I realized she wasn't laughing at me alone. What do I do? I asked Tom.
You get proof, you get a lawyer, you protect yourself.
But first, I made a call. Lisa! It's David. We need to talk. The silence on her end stretched so long I thought she'd hung up. Then, barely a whisper.
Oh, God. You know, don't you?
We met at a cafe in Littleton, 20 miles from anyone who'd recognize us. Lisa looked like she'd aged 5 years overnight. When I showed her the evidence, she didn't cry. She stared at the screen with dead eyes and said,
Those two traitors are going to pay.
Turns out beneath the soccer mom exterior, Lisa Richardson was pure steel. She'd hired a PI, but Michael had gotten careful. Together, we pieced together the full betrayal. They'd used our homes, while I took Jake to the hospital for asthma, while she drove Emma to volleyball tournaments.
I found more.
Lisa told me a week later, voice arctic.
They've been laughing at us. Sarah calls you Captain Clueless. Michael calls me the ball and chain.
That's when the last piece of my heart turned to ice. We synchronized everything like a military operation, filed papers simultaneously, documented every asset, every penny spent on their affair. Lisa found credit card statements, a $3,000 tennis bracelet for Sarah's birthday that she'd told me was a company bonus. The planning phase became my religion. Every detail mapped out, track their next rendezvous, choose the perfect public moment, coordinate with the sheriff, practice my lines. April 15th, the Ritz-Carlton downtown, room 1247. Sarah's marketing conference, complete with a fake agenda she'd printed. I dropped the kids at my mother's. Emma hugged me extra tight.
Whatever it is, Dad, I love you.
Smart girl. She knew something was coming. The Ritz lobby, all marble and crystal, where secrets hide behind luxury. I waited with Sheriff Martinez, watching the elevator.
You're certain about this?
He asked. Never been more certain of anything. I'd texted Sarah from a burner phone. Hotel manager, credit card issue, urgent. 2:50 p.m. The elevator dings. The sound hit like a judge's gavel. She emerges in a hotel bathrobe. Nothing else. Hair mussed from whatever they'd been doing. Her perfume, the one I'd bought her last Christmas, still hanging in the air. The blood drains from her face when she sees me. Time slows down. The plush carpet under my feet. The chandelier light catching her wedding ring, still on her finger, while she was with another man. The shocked silence of the lobby.
David? What are you? How did you?
Sarah Winters.
Sheriff Martinez steps forward.
You're being served.
Her hands shake, taking the papers, reality hitting in waves.
David, please, I can explain.
2 years, Sarah. My voice is steady. Calm. The voice of a man who's already grieved. 2 years of making me feel worthless while you were with him in our bed.
It meant nothing, just sex. We can work through this.
Like you worked through it when Jake was in the hospital, when Emma was being bullied. Every moment I was being a father, you were here. With him. She lunges forward, nails digging into my arm.
This is your fault. You pushed me to this. You never.
Ma'am, you need to let go.
The sheriff intervenes. As I walk away, she screams,
You'll regret this. I'll take everything. You're nothing without me.
20 minutes later, across town, Michael gets his papers at home, his kids watching from the window. Lisa told me he actually tried to run, jumping in his Tesla before the server blocked him. The divorce took 6 months of hell. Sarah cycled through every manipulation in the playbook: denial, showing up with Thai food and flowers,
This is all a misunderstanding.
bargaining, therapy appointments, self-help books with notes in margins,
Everyone deserves a second chance.
rage.
You were never man enough anyway. At least Michael knows how to satisfy a woman.
If you've been through this dance of manipulation, you know how exhausting it is to stay strong when they know exactly which buttons to push. My own mother sided with her. Sunday dinners where she'd seat Sarah in her old spot.
People make mistakes, David.
Mistakes? I stood so fast my chair fell. She was shopping for houses in California with him while I raised our kids. That's not a mistake. It's betrayal. But Emma understood.
Dad, I heard Mom laughing about you on the phone once. I'm glad you finally stood up for yourself.
Even Jake, in his 9-year-old wisdom.
Mom broke a promise, so now they live in different houses.
Lisa and I supported each other through the darkness. Not romantically. We were too damaged. But as survivors of the same shipwreck. Coffee meetings, legal strategies. The 3 a.m. rage texts we didn't send. The divorce finalized on a Tuesday in October. Halloween decorations lining our street. Fake gravestones for a real death. I kept the house, buying out Sarah's share with my 401k and an inheritance I'd saved for college funds. Sarah's post-divorce transformation was almost comedic. Suddenly, I was the king she'd lost. She'd show up with elaborate dinners, the pot roast I used to beg her to make when we were married, now suddenly on the menu, love notes in the kids' backpacks. The woman who'd recoiled from my touch for 2 years couldn't keep her hands to herself during exchanges.
Let me show you what I've learned.
She'd plead. You already showed me, I'd reply, cold as Colorado winter. For 2 years. With Michael. 3 weeks after the papers were signed, Lisa and I went to dinner. Just friends, we said. But somewhere between the wine and dessert, the energy shifted. What happened that night changed everything. That night with Lisa was a revelation. Being with someone who saw me as worth desiring, who understood betrayal and chose vulnerability anyway. Sarah found out within a week. The texts came like a tsunami.
How could you do this? She's using you for revenge. This is why I went to Michael. You replace people.
I screenshotted them all, for my lawyer, for my own satisfaction. 2 years later, I'm with Lisa. We took it slow. Therapy, careful with kids, making sure it wasn't just trauma bonding. Turns out, when you've both been through hell, you appreciate heaven more. Emma's in college now, pre-law.
I want to help people like you, Dad. People who deserve justice.
Jake's 11, thriving.
You smile more now, Dad. Real smiles.
And Sarah? Still in that apartment. Still working on herself. Last month, she sent a handwritten letter on stationery I'd bought her.
I realize now what I lost. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I see you with her and understand. That's how you used to look at me.
I didn't finish reading it. Because here's what anyone who's been truly betrayed knows. Forgiveness isn't required for healing. Moving on doesn't mean going back. Some bridges should stay burned. You can't build a future on a foundation of lies. And you sure as hell can't make someone love you by showing them how completely you loved someone else. Michael. Studio apartment. Dating a 25-year-old his daughters despise. Lost his job when Morrison and Associates discovered their credit cards funded adultery. Sarah traded a man who would have died for a man who wouldn't even fight to keep her. That's a bill that comes due every single morning she wakes up alone. Me? I'm living a life where I'm valued, respected, genuinely loved, where trust isn't a question but a foundation. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate schemes or public humiliation. Sometimes it's simply this: living well, loving deeply, and letting those who wronged you watch from the sidelines as you build the life they threw away. They say the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. And every day I wake up next to someone who chooses me, every game I attend for my kids, every success I achieve. I realize I haven't thought about Sarah in hours. And that's the revenge that keeps on giving. If this story moved you, like this video and subscribe for more infidelity stories, cheating wife stories, lost love chronicles, and inspirational stories about finding the strength to start over.